And so now we're living in the time of weak men that are going to create hard times. Like this younger generation, they're going to create such hard times for themselves if they don't learn how to have urgency, be resilient, work hard, have the right mindset, have ambition. Like I talk to a lot of young people and it's like the freaking lights aren't on. What's going on upstairs, man? They're not really attuned to what's reality. And that's again, because we live in soft times right now. Times are so easy. Welcome back to another episode of the Unstoppable Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Crane, and I'm grateful that you're here for this message today. Check it out, you guys. There's no handouts in life. Nothing's going to be given to you. Everything that you truly want, from the money in your bank account to the body to the inner peace that we're all seeking, must be earned. And one of the biggest problems I'm seeing in society right now in America is that these young people are entitled, they're spoiled, and they don't know what it really takes to create success in their lives. The reason I bring this up is I was watching a podcast with Patrick Bet-David, and he was basically debating with people who are anti-capitalist, right? People who are maybe they're socialists or communists. I don't know. There are all these young people, and a lot of them had purple freaking hair, piercings in their faces. A lot of the guys seem super feminine. Check it out. There's this weird thing going on with the people that oppose like strong men or masculinity or capitalism. Most of the people that oppose those characters and those characteristics, they're different, man, and different not in a way that represents like strength or success or prosperity. Like they're not people that I would want to follow. You know, I'm like, where are they learning this stuff from? Where are they being brainwashed? Why are these young men? Why do they sound and look so feminine? You know, why are these people so confused? And gosh, a lot of them are being manipulated at college. They're being indoctrinated by their professors on these campuses, those same campuses that Charlie Kirk was going to wake people up. Like these young people are being massively manipulated, almost to like hate America, to hate capitalism, to hate strong men. You know, they all believe that like strong, wealthy white men are crooked and evil and bad. And it's like, do you have any idea what it takes to actually grow a business and to become successful? You know, when I was younger, I'd hear people talk about like Donald Trump or, now people talk about Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, all these wealthy people. And immediately they assume that like they're evil and they've done all these bad things to accumulate their wealth. Here's the truth. Maybe some wealthy people did do bad things. Maybe they did burn people. Maybe they are shady, but I never thought of it that way. Initially, I always thought about how do they get there? What do they do to reach that level? Because anyone knows who's grown a business or created wealth, like it takes so much effort and focus for such a long period of time to amass a large amount of wealth or to build a successful business, right? But anyway, back to my point, like I was watching this clip with Patrick Bet-David and these young people, and one by one, they were coming up to him to debate capitalism and why they felt capitalism was wrong, and they were trying to use, all these different anecdotal stories or all these different viewpoints about communism and socialism. And one of the guys stood up and he goes, yeah, we live in America, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? He quoted that. And Patrick Bet-David goes, what, so you think you're born here? Like you should just get handouts? Because the guy was basically saying we should all have free healthcare. We should be able to make an abundance of money doing pretty much any job and be rewarded for just minimal effort. And everyone should just have, like pretty much everything they need. And dude, this guy is so delusional. He doesn't realize just until recent times, the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, maybe 100 years, most human beings every day had to get up and kill what they ate. I mean, it was pure survival. You were in pure survival mode. People during the like agricultural times, right? They had farms and they had livestock. They grew their own vegetables and like the land sustained you, right? You had to grow those crops. You had to work hard every day to harvest those crops. You had to tend to your livestock. You had to, kill cows and you had to, skin the meat and prep the meat and store the meat and make sure it didn't go rotten. And like, you had to raise chickens and go collect the eggs and all this stuff. Like every day was hard work. Most of society, historically has had to work really hard every day just to maintain. And it's so crazy. You have these young people growing up in the freest country in the world in the most abundant time ever. And they don't realize that we got to this point by people working hard, tirelessly tirelessly to create a society where they have such advantages and opportunities. But a lot of people are taking that for granted to the point where now they're condemning the exact system, capitalism, the United States of America, the Constitution, the morals, the values and beliefs that this country was founded upon, right? They're condemning that foundation and are like the forefathers that created this beautiful nation. They're condemning those ways now. It's just, they're so naive, man. And I think this is because they grew up in easy times, and the cliche statement, right? Like, easy times make hard men make soft times, and then it goes back round and round and round, right? And so now we're living in the time of weak men that are going to create hard times. Like this younger generation, they're going to create such hard times for themselves if they don't learn how to have urgency, be resilient, work hard, have the right mindset, have ambition. Like, I talk to a lot of young people, and it's like the freaking lights aren't on. Like, what's going on upstairs, man? Like, they're not really attuned to what's reality. And that's, again, because we live in soft times right now. Times are so easy. And so I was shocked when I heard this guy try to like counter Patrick Bet-David's argument about why capitalism and a free market is so important by saying, no, we live in the land of, what did I say a second ago? I said, I forgot what I said, but basically like the land of the free, right? With liberty and like basically abundance. Like, he just wants things handed to him. And so what I do with my children every day is I talk to them about what it takes to actually be successful. I'm instilling into them the right belief systems right now, the right habits right now. Scarlett's 6, Preston's 4, Mason's 15. Every day I'm talking to them and sharing with them the truth about what works in life and the way life is, and the other day we went to my son's martial arts class. Preston, who's 4, does Krav Maga. And at this age, they're not doing a bunch of hand-to-hand combat and stuff like that. It's more of like teaching him how to pay attention, how to have discipline, how to do push-ups, how to do sit-ups. Then they do obstacle courses and have fun. He has a great time. He does it twice a week. But the other day, him and this other boy were goofing around as they were supposed to be in line, paying attention to their instructor. And so after Krav Maga, he wanted to get like a little treat or a snack. I'll take him to 7-Eleven or 76 and get him, he likes Pringles. I'll get him a little box of Pringles. That's like his reward every once in a while. And he said, Dad, can we go to the snack store? He calls it the snack store. Can we go to the snack store, Dad? And I said, no, Preston, we're not going to go. And he goes, oh, but why, Dad? Why? And I said, because you didn't give your best effort in Krav Maga. I saw you joking around and goofing around with that other boy. I said, it's okay to have fun. That's what you're there to do. But when your instructor is talking to you, you got to pay attention. He goes, I know. And I said, do you think you gave your best effort? And he goes, no, I didn't. And I said, so that's why you're not getting the Pringles, because in life, you don't get rewarded when you don't give your best effort. I told him, when you're younger, you have parents to take care of you. And, your school teachers look after you, grandma and grandpa, you have family members, and, life's pretty easy as a kid. But as you get older, you're not rewarded if you give bad or a lack of effort. Your rewards or your results in life are a reflection of the effort that you put forth. So I'm always instilling this into my children. I'm always telling them each and every day, best attitude and do your best at everything that comes across your plate, right? Meaning whatever you're doing, give your best effort. Do it to the best of your ability. Every day, I reiterate this message to them because that is what's going to give them the ability to achieve a great life. It's knowing that, hey, the harder I work, the more effort that I put forth, like that's what's going to get me places in life. No one's going to give me stuff. There's no handouts, participation trophies and all that crap. And we're done with that stuff. You should not get rewarded for not giving your best effort. Like if you're in a league playing sports and it's competitive and you get 7th place, you shouldn't get a trophy. Okay. Because what that teaches you is like, you're going to get a reward no matter if you get first place in life or last place. And that's a really bad message to share with a young person. It's okay to have a little team party after, give them some pizza, let them play around. Hey, great season, you guys, give people high fives. I love the way you showed up. You got better each game. I saw improvements in all of you. Next year, we're going to go out and get first place, right? Set that standard for them. And this is what good coaches, fathers, leaders, and men in society need to do. You need to raise the standards for young people. And not in a way that's going to be overwhelming for them and overbearing, but in a way that's going to help them to grow to reach their potential in life. Always painting the picture of like, hey, if you want stuff, you can have anything you want in this life. You can achieve anything you want, but you have to try harder and you have to be resilient and relentless. And here's the thing, kids get discouraged. Like a lot of times my daughter, she'll be doing something, she'll like flop on the ground. She's like, oh, it's so hard, Dad. I can't do it right now. And I always tell her, two things. Number one, if you believe you can't do it, you won't. And we had this talk this morning. I said, the words you speak to yourself and about yourself, or the words you speak out loud, are so powerful. They become true. So I said, every time that you're going through something that's hard or difficult, don't say I can't do it. Take a moment, take a little break and say like, okay, I'm going to try again, or I'm going to keep trying until I get it right. And one thing I've always instilled in my children is like, we never quit or give up. We never quit or give up. We never quit or give up. So even when times are tough, they can persevere because they have that internalized belief. Now, the second thing is I tell her like, hey, if you get angry or upset or emotional in a situation, it's going to make it worse. Teaching them emotional control and self-control at a young age is very important. We all get discouraged at times. We all get upset. But if you allow that to defeat you and stop you in your tracks, are you going to get what you want in life? No. Right. So again, these are things that I'm teaching my kids at a young age, but these are things that I see a lot of adults and young people lacking, man. It's like you don't work hard and you expect to just have all these results. And then you want to blame the government and society and inflation and the economy. Dude, it's so easy to win in life if you just work hard for a long period of time. Like it doesn't matter who's president. Okay. You live in freaking America where you have unlimited opportunities right now. Okay. So it doesn't matter who's president. Doesn't matter really about the economy, dude. Like you haven't been through a depression. I haven't, right? You might have been through a couple mild recessions in your lifetime, but even during those times, you can find a way to win and to make money and be successful. It doesn't matter what's going on in politics, in global politics in other countries. If you get sucked into the news and you get this doom gloom type mentality and you're overlooking the opportunities in front of you each and every day, you're not going to get where you want to go in life. But if you're willing to get up every day, you're going to be optimistic. You're going to be grateful for what you have. You're going to work your butt off. You're going to have the best attitude and be positive throughout that day. And you can rinse and repeat over and over and over. Success is inevitable. And here's the thing that everybody wants in life, right? You guys think you want money. You think you want stuff. Like, that's cool. That's part of the equation. But what we're really after is like this inner feeling of peace. This feeling inside of us, like we're enough. We're doing enough in life. Like we made it. We got what it takes, right? It's this inner peace, but it's almost this like relief that we experience when you reach a certain point. But you only get there by really going all in for a long period of time. And like going back to that clip that I saw on Patrick Bet-David's podcast with that young guy, the pursuit of life, liberty, and freedom. That's what he said that we all deserve growing up in America. But here's the truth, man. If you were just to wake up every day and the government was giving you the certain amount of money you needed to get by and you had free health care, let's say they even paid for your rent or your groceries, and that was it. Dude, eventually you would start to get anxious. Eventually you would start to feel something was missing. Eventually you would start to feel, ungrateful. Eventually you would start to feel like you wanted more in life. Okay. This is why socialism and communism doesn't work, because inside the human spirit is the desire to excel and go far above and beyond what is known. There's something inside each and every one of us that wants to go and explore that unknown, that wants to bring that vision to life, right? That ambition, that desire inside of you to reach your potential. That is such a powerful gift. And if you give people the bare minimum and just expect them to be okay, eventually they're not going to be okay, right? Eventually they're going to want more, they're going to crave more, and they're going to feel stuck. Okay. I don't want to be in a society that just gives me enough to be okay. I want to live in a society that gives me the opportunity to be freaking great, gives me the opportunity to take risks, gives me the opportunity to potentially fail. I'd rather go all in on my dreams and fail and fall flat on my face than just be okay and get some handouts, right? Handouts don't create inner peace. Handouts don't create a feeling of, damn, I'm amazing. Like I'm living a life of greatness. Like I'm all in. I'm bringing dreams to life. I'm providing the best life I could for my family. That comes from you tapping into that potential you possess within, facing fears, going out into the unknown, taking risks, and materializing those outcomes for yourself. And so for these young people right now, man, I think they're going to get rudely awoken by life's circumstances, and they're going to have to go through some hard times to recognize how good they have it and develop some urgency and some grit and some tenacity, right? That mental toughness that's required to really create a life that's worth living.